Hello, and welcome to this time that we're getting to know some of our partners from King's Ransom. And we actually happen to have one of our partners that we work with at King's Ransom Foundation, where 100% of all of the funds go to the poor, the widow, the orphan, and the needy. And we have Danish with us,
Yeah,
and he is one of our partners in Pakistan and pretty much all over the Middle East.
that's right.
And how you impact so many people in that area and giving them water and food and helping those that are sex trafficked and
Yes,
so many things that you do
there are
over
things
there.
are
But
happening.
you use all of that to really impact them with the gospel as
Amen.
well, because you really want to give them that cold water first,
That's
and
right.
so that you can show them that you care and that you have a heart for them, and then you that opens the door for them to really hear the gospel
That's very
and
true.
to receive it.
That's
And
very
you
true.
just showed me a picture
Uh-huh.
of a man that you, just before you came here, that you were able to really impact him with the gospel,
That's true.
and it was really a cool story. So
Yeah.
share with us what
Well,
happened right before
beginning
you
with
got here.
that, well, thank you very much for having me on this program today, first of all. And then talking about what God is doing in that part of the world. Certainly, things that we do are not possible without the generosity of the friends here at King's Ransom Foundation. But because of that generosity and because of that faithfulness that everyone here at King's Ransom, including you and Pastor Ken, have shown towards the people who are greatly suffering around the world, and for me specifically in Middle East and Asia, um, we are seeing enormous and powerful results of it. Just the way this man that you spoke to me about,
Hmm.
sometimes we think about signs, wonders, and miracles, and they are true about, and it's God
Hmm.
who does that. But what we have seen, that there is a big, big, big fruit of the love, of the kindness, of the gentleness that is shown to people in the practical ways.
Mm.
And this man who you're talking about, he was in an Afghan refugee camp,
Oh
who never
wow.
knew about Christ and His
Hmm.
love, and but at the same time they were not receiving any help from any other institution or any other authority. But through the givings of King's Ransom Foundation, we were able to bring food relief to this camp. And
Mm.
when we did it, it opened a wide door, not just in that specific camp, but the people's heart. The doors of the heart of the
Hmm.
people got open. This man sat down with me, Sister April, and this is what he said. He said, from last 3 weeks, I did not earn a single dime because they are not legal in the country and there are other things attached with their story. But from last 3 weeks, he did not earn a single penny, a single dime. And he said, my children were not eating. And today, I was finally thinking it's better to die than to live this life.
Mm.
And suddenly, you guys came this morning to our labor camp and brought all of this. He was kissing my hands and touching my feet, and obviously, I don't want anyone to do that. But it
Hmm.
was just that how much the heart of this man was broken because
Hmm.
of the generosity that was shown to him through this organization. And now he has started following the Lord Jesus Christ, and that is the ultimate purpose behind
Yeah.
doing all of the good deeds. It says in the Word of God that do good so that people of the world can see how good your Father in heaven is.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we are not just doing the thing, but we realize this deeply in our soul that we are the ambassadors of the kingdom of heaven on this earth, and that's why we do it every day, all day,
Wow.
350, 365 days of the year.
Hmm. And your heart for this ministry is continual. Like, you just have such a passion and a heart to really impact people, and you continue not just that, but also at King's Ransom, we're very much about accountability
Hmm.
and making sure that what is
Yes.
given.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we have partners, we don't always get those that feedback of what's really being impacted continually.
Yeah.
Like we want to see like what is really happening with the
True.
gifts that we give. And you are continually sending me
Thank you
pictures
for that. I take it as a compliment.
everywhere you go. It's like you'll send me a picture, you'll
Yeah.
send Ken, you'll send, this is what we're doing, this
Yes.
is what's
Because,
happening.
I believe this firmly with all of my heart. See, first thing is the faithfulness of people.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there are many who are giving it sacrificially. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I do not take it for granted. In fact, I value this thing. And anybody who works with me in anywhere in any part of Middle East, we make this sure that the person who works with us in our
Mm-hmm.
umbrella, he should be someone who does not only honor God. Sometimes we honor God and we love God
Mm-hmm.
and God, but we don't honor the resources that He gave in our hand. So we want to be faithful with those resources, with the people, and be faithful and be honoring towards those people
Mm-hmm.
who did it for you. When we go in these villages, Sister April, where people don't have food to eat, where they don't have water to drink. I recently the water hand pump that we planted because of the blessing of King's Ransom Foundation. Um, I went to this village and they lost 22 children just because of
Mm.
drinking contaminated water.
Wow.
Grown up children.
Mm-hmm.
And they died. Why only? So someone is giving, someone is benefiting, but we are faithful for every single penny. So
Mm-hmm.
anybody from King's Ransom can ask me today, hey Danish, we sent you that $100, what
Mm-hmm.
you did with it? And I'm answerable. There is a proof of that $100 where it went.
Yes, and I can verify with that as on the board of King's Ransom and also the treasurer that I oversee every month to
Yes.
make sure that every dollar and we have a system
Yes.
and of accountability with that. And Andrew, you talk with Andrew regularly,
Yes.
and so I can attest to that. That
Yeah, sometimes I
you're
feel
one
like
of
I'm talking
no,
too much. I'm reporting
no,
too much.
like no, because it's so important, and
Yes,
we wish that every partner was like that. And we know that that takes a lot. We
it
know
does.
that that takes a lot of time. It
It
takes a
does.
lot of effort
But it's
to.
important to
It
do.
is important.
Where it is important for people to be blessed, at the
Mhm.
same time it is important to bless those people who gave you to bless others.
Mhm.
So both of the things go with the balance.
Yeah. Communication and
Communication.
accountability is
Yes.
just so important
Very
because
important.
we can get so caught up in, and we were talking a little bit because when you are on the ground
Mm.
24/7 like
Yeah.
that, it takes a lot. You're giving a lot. You're continually giving. And so we've kind of talked about making sure that you have that cup to full so you can pour out of, because
You
you
know,
haven't
here,
always done that. You haven't
yeah,
always, like, your heart is to give, give, give. How do you
my
do that? How are
my
you learning
yes,
that?
my thing with that is, when I do anything, when I'm on the ground, or when we are, yeah, like Pastor Ken was saying that, oh brother, it's too hot out here in Texas. I'm like, brother, it's hot here, but you don't know what
You don't
hotness
know.
means.
Right.
Like there, our team work there in 55 degrees Celsius every day.
Mhm.
When we go to plant these water hand pumps or drive people out of human or sex trafficking,
Mhm.
it's weather conditions are there, life threats are there.
Mhm.
But the only thing which moves us is the suffering of the people.
Yeah.
When you go out with the heart of the Father. The problem, which is a good problem with us, is that we can't see people in suffering. We can't see
Mhm.
people suffering. We can't see them dying. We at King's Ransom, at the same time, we believe a lot of things, but this is very important that we believe that we will do anything on any extent to save that one girl, to save
Mhm.
that one Christian girl who has been in sex trap from last 2 years or 3 years. We
Mhm.
will go to any extent to save that one Christian young guy who was dying in that village because of drinking contaminated water. For that one lady who was suffering with the skin condition that doctors were not able to cure, we will do anything in our capacity to
Mhm.
save that, because it is the heart of the Father Himself. So we only do what He did with us. You know, He
Mhm.
saved me the moment I was in the darkest times of my life. He
Mhm.
forgave me, He delivered me. Today we are doing the same with people. So it's just all about carrying the nature of God and going forward with it. You know,
Mhm.
this girl I was sharing with you about the other day in the car, um, she was in a sex trap from last 2 years. She was a Christian lady. She and her family were in a debt trap. They were in a debt. They were not able to pay it back. four
Mhm.
thousand eight hundred American dollars. Impossible. You know, the debt system works like this, that there is a certain percentage, so there is a value that a person takes to fulfill his
Mhm.
medical need or to get the daughter married or any need fulfilled. But there is 25% that you pay as interest every month. Plus, there is a 25%
Mhm.
that keeps adding to the actual value. So, let's say someone took $1,000 loan or a debt, so he is paying back 25% every month, and
Wow.
there is 25% being added to that actual amount. And it will continue to be added, and you will continue to pay that
So
every
you're
month
never out
until
of it.
it is not paid all in once.
Mhm.
They were unable to pay that. One day, this man came to their home. They said, "Okay, if you were not able to pay, I'm taking your daughter." He
Mhm.
took the daughter away.
Mhm.
It's a story to listen. He took the daughter away. When he took her away, sister, for last 2 years, nearly 700 days, this girl sat down with me after the release. We got her rescued 2 months ago. It's not long ago, just 2 months
Mhm.
ago. And she was sitting the same way that we are sitting today. And this is what she said to me: I can do anything, sister, to to go for the one soul like that. She
Mhm.
said, brother, every night when this man used to be on top of me, and sometime he used to bring his friends, and every night this is what he told me. He said, XYZ, whatever her name was,
Mhm.
she said he used to say my name and say, if you only renounce Christ, if you only renounce Christ and accept my belief, my faith, I am going to forgive the debt on you and your family.
Mhm.
I'm going to set you free. I'm going to get you married with one of the rich men who is going to be my friend. You will live for the rest of your life as one of his wives, and you will be happy for all of your life. And she said, brother, from last 2 years, every night I gave this response to him. I said, it's better for me to give my flesh than to give up on my faith.
Mhm.
And every night I gave my flesh to be eaten through these animals. She had marks of nails. She had marks of, snatching her flesh on her body. And every night she answered the same thing. We took her to the doctors, and they said that she can never be a mother. They said that she could feel nothing below her belly part.
Mhm.
She could feel nothing. Um, but one thing she secured was her faith in Christ.
Mhm.
So there are tons of stories like that where people are suffering.
Mhm.
Why not to go for it? There is no reason not to go for it. And I believe that if someone is not stepping after listening or seeing that,
Mhm.
he himself is a dead man. He don't deserve to live himself
Mhm.
if their hearts are not moved by seeing and hearing
Wow.
that.
Wow. Yes. And so what I'm really hearing is that this is this is a lot that you continue your heart is pulled towards doing this, and if you can just do the one, and you can't do everybody all at one time,
Yeah.
but when you see the need and
See
you know
it.
that you can make a difference,
Yes.
that you do what you can,
Yeah.
and you don't give up to
Never.
be able to help just that one, and how impactful that was to that young lady and her faith, and now her story, to be able to share that,
Yeah.
because that just enough
And
that,
now that
like,
girl
to
is
know that
witnessing
what we're doing,
Christ.
exactly, just to know that that's so inspiring.
Yeah.
Like, here we have, we get persecuted just a little bit,
Yeah.
and we throw up our arms
True.
sometimes of like, why am I following Christ, or whatever, or why am I believing, or
Yes.
and our faith can be just tested a little bit,
True.
and and we can struggle. And so that's so inspiring to hear those stories. So what you're doing and even sharing that story is
I'm
so
thankful.
impactful, and it makes such a impact on us to remember just that there are those that are suffering. So what you're doing is not just for that person,
Yeah.
but encouraging and inspiring others.
I always said this, that there is still ink in the pen of God and He's making a history.
Mhm.
Isn't so good that He's using us
Yeah.
to bring that history. Just like this girl, now she's responsible going in. She walks every day. We are praying to bless her
Mm.
with some sort of vehicle or cycle or something. But
Mhm.
she's going to 10 different villages witnessing Jesus Christ fully and completely and freely. And it's just because now you saved one, but through her, you don't
Yeah,
know,
you don't know
thousands
who.
possibly can get
Yeah,
saved.
that's
Through her,
so
thousands
powerful.
will be witnessed.
Mhm.
And that's what we desire. That's
Mhm.
what the deepest desire of all of us at King's Ransom is,
Yeah.
to go and do whatever is needed for that one soul.
Wow. Thank you for sharing these amazing stories.
I'm just
And
grateful.
can you tell us the number of salvations that you have seen over the last 12 months?
Over the last 12 months, oh my
Mhm.
goodness. You know, so we are a media ministry, we are a humanitarian ministry,
Mhm.
and at the same time, we are a missions ministry. Um, I'm just giving you a roughly idea. Just through the gospel outreaches that we did, over 100,000 people responded to the gospel. They raised their hands for believing and accepting Christ as the
Mhm.
Lord and Savior. And then through television, every single month there are about 4,000 to 5,000 phone calls that comes in our. And now I'm not talking about Christians calling in. I'm talking
Mhm.
about people from other belief systems who are calling in, and responding to the message of the gospel. So just in these 12 months, a rough idea is nearly about 200,000 people who we heard from. And now 200,000 are not the one we disciple, but those people who said yes to follow Christ.
Wow.
Currently, only at the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan, now these people were never from a Christian background. They
Mhm.
hated Christ, they hated Christians.
Mhm.
But 168 people are being discipled there. In the city I live in, hundreds of people are being discipled in different parts of Middle East. Those people who said yes to the Lord are now being
Yeah.
discipled, and that
Wow.
number itself is crossing 2,000 people.
That's amazing. Crazy numbers of people that you are
Yeah.
impacting, and we're so grateful for the work that you're doing in Pakistan and
Yeah.
around that area of the world,
Yes.
and how you are, because that impacts us. Like it
No.
when we can change their hearts
Yes.
towards Christ, and know that they have a different heart to love people
Yeah.
outside of their own beliefs,
Yes.
and want to even evangelize in a way that is loving and bringing them with love.
Yeah.
That impacts the whole world when
Oh,
we
if
can
you
change
only
hearts
allow
like
me, I
that.
really want to tell you the story of salvation, where not just a life or a family, the whole village gave their lives to the Lord. I was in this village, sister. Somebody told us that there are deaths happening in this village. There are women who are being raped every single day because when they walk 12 kilometers or 14 kilometers just to bring a pot of water, which is also not clean. But the
Hmm.
lake is like 12 kilometers away from this village. Anyway, we went to this village, and when we were done planting the water hand pump and everything, this lady came to me. And in this culture they don't show you their faces, even they have
Hmm.
scarves or veils in front of their faces. This lady came and she kissed my hand, and the first thing in my mind was, Danish, this is your last day on this planet.
Hmm.
You're dying, brother. And by the time I looked up, because I was sitting on a cot, I looked up, and this wasn't just this lady, her husband, her father in law, the whole village, men and women, children, they were all standing in front of me, and every single one of them had tears in their eye. So, till then, I didn't know, because I never saw the overmath of receiving water
Hmm.
hand pump in such a way. But this is what they said. This lady started speaking. She said, "Brother, I was raped 12 times by a group of men when I used to go to bring water. But I had to go because I can't let my children
Mm-hmm.
die with no water. So every day, 12 times I got raped. Three
Wow.
times I attempted to commit suicide. You
Mm.
don't even know what you did for our village.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
So good.
now, not just her or her family, the whole village gave their lives to the Lord.
Mm.
They said, nobody helped us. Only this Jesus came for us. Only the people of Jesus came to us to rescue us from this darkness and this death trap that we were in.
Mm.
And no institute, no government, no other authority came to help us in this time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happened? Some houses in this village got burned by the radicals because now the whole village is Christian. So
Mm-hmm.
they had a lot of anger against them. They burnt about 16 homes, about over 200 people went homeless. This is so I was expecting that they must be challenged, la la la
Mm-hmm.
la. But when I went there, sister, this is what said. She said, if and so this young boy was standing in front of where we were sitting, and this father said, this he said, brother, look at my son. If they're gonna chop my son in the middle of the road tonight, I'm still gonna follow Christ.
Mm.
If they cut off my hand, I'm still gonna follow Christ. They said the moment nobody came for us, that time
Mm-hmm.
the people of Jesus came for us. And now
Mm.
we can die for him, we can live for him, but nobody burn down our house, burn down this, kill us, do whatever. We are still going to follow Christ. And this is the impact of that one small
Yeah.
gift that King
Wow.
Ransom brought to that village, the water hand pump, the
Mm-hmm.
clean water for that village.
Wow, that's so powerful. And just hearing that story, it just reminded of even the disciples in the beginning and how they were all martyred, but they would not deny.
Never.
And so that is so powerful and again inspiring and encouraging. And this is a region of the world that many will not go to
Yes.
and thought hopeless. But you saw the hope that if you just showed up like
Yes.
that,
Yes.
to just because you'd experienced that,
Yeah.
to go give that to others. And it's so powerful and impactful. Thank you for what you do. And thank you for
Thank
being
you.
with us here today to really share these
Yeah.
stories so that we can hear and we can know and we can be inspired by what is given to King's Ransom and know that it is having such an amazing impact. Thank you for being so faithful
Thank
and
you.
accountable and faithful with what is given to you to use it so effectively and wisely. So we really appreciate you and appreciate you being here. We
I
know you came from a long way
a long way.
to be here.
I always said this to Pastor Ken. I said I can return nothing,
Hmm.
nothing but my prayers. There are so many people who know you, who know Pastor Ken, who know King's Ransom Foundation, but obviously nobody get to meet you personally.
Hmm.
But they love you and they pray for you every single day,
Mm.
because
Thank
King's
you.
Ransom came for them the moment nobody came for them. So I am personally on behalf of our organization in Pakistan, King's Ransom Foundation
Hmm.
Pakistan, on behalf of our team today here, I just want to say thank you for helping us to do the gospel in Pakistan. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I received that. And thank y'all for joining us to learn more about our partners all over the world. And
Yes.
we'll see you next time.